Do you ever feel like your financial life seems scattered, right? Money comes in, money goes out, but you're wondering, hey, is any of this really working together for me? It's kind of like having puzzle pieces scattered across the table, and you might have all the right pieces, but without the picture on the box, it's hard to know how they all fit together. Hello, I'm April Schoen, and I'm a financial advisor based in Tallahassee, Florida. I help people, especially women and families, create financial systems that make sure that their money is actually working for them, not against them. And today, I want to talk about something I see all the time, how your financial life might feel sort of random, but with the right structure, it can all start working together for you. So let's get into it today. If you're feeling this way, just know it's not your fault, right? Over the years, you've probably changed jobs, set up different retirement accounts, investment accounts, you've got different insurances. And if you've never seen everything in one place, it's hard to know if it really is all working for you. And then add to that all the constant noise we have, right? Apps on our phones that want us to spend, invest, save, subscribe. And it can feel like everything is vying for our attention. And if you're like most people, you're going to have multiple goals. We all do, right? Maybe you are looking to save for college. Maybe you want to buy a new house. Maybe you want to save for retirement, start a business. There's a lot of things that we want our money doing for us. And if we don't have one clarity about what is most important to us, and we don't have a system, it's going to be hard for us to know if we're making progress. And it can also lead to decision fatigue. You know, I see this in my own life, right? Whether it's deciding, do we put extra money towards a home project, saving for the boys' college, putting it towards investments, it can feel overwhelming to know what's the best thing to do. And I know if it feels that way for me, and I do this every day helping my clients, then I know if you don't have a system helping you guide those choices, it makes it even harder. And when your money is spread in different places, it's hard to answer 3 simple questions I want you to think about today. What do I really have? How is it working? And is it actually taking me where I want to go? Because this is where a system comes in, especially having a cash flow system to help you have clarity, prioritize what you want, and then have a system to get there. I worked with a client who was really worried about her financial future. She told me she wanted to be able to slow down about 15 years, but she wasn't sure if what she was doing with her money was actually going to get her there. And on paper, she was doing things really well, but it was hard for her to see the big picture. You know, she had multiple income streams, she was saving consistently, but in a bunch of different places, and she wasn't confident it was going to be enough. And this fear that she had led her to live in a more scarcity mindset. She was always wondering, am I doing enough? But when we put together a system for her, she realized she was actually saving more than she thought. And not only was she on track, but she's actually ahead of schedule. And so this is when everything shifted for her. It freed her up to start thinking about retiring earlier than she planned. It allows her to be more philanthropic today and to be able to give money and also enjoying the money she has today. And the best part is, because she is on track, she doesn't have to take as much risk as she was. She can have a smoother, more conservative ride in the market and still reach her goals. And for her, it wasn't just the numbers, right? It was the relief in knowing she could breathe a little, she could dream a little bigger and not live in that constant scarcity or fear mindset. Another client came to me knowing she had some holes in her plan. She admitted that she probably was spending more than she should, aren't we all? But she really didn't know where her money was going. It felt like money came in the front door and just went right out the back door. She honestly didn't see how she'd be able to save more at that point than she already was because everything already felt tight. And one of the things that we did was we put in a cash flow system for her, and this changed everything. We tracked so she would know exactly how much was coming in and then where was it going, how much was being spent, and how much was being saved. She also did a spending plan exercise and she found some holes, right? There were some subscriptions she didn't need anymore and maybe a little too much on DoorDash too throughout the month. And by identifying these gaps, she actually created a surplus of cash flow that could go back on her balance sheet without impacting her lifestyle. That was huge, right? We also discovered that her investments just were not aligned properly. Some things should have been more conservative. Some things were way too aggressive for where she needed to be. And others needed to grow for the future, but weren't positioned that way. And so by making a few tweaks, she felt immediate relief, right? She now knew exactly where she was. She knew where she was going, and her money was finally working for her toward her goals. She even told me later, I finally feel like I'm the one telling my money what to do instead of wondering where it went. And here's the reality. Your financial plan does not have to be complicated. In fact, the more complicated it is, the less likely that you are going to follow it. What works best is simple, repeatable systems where you can make things as systematic and automatic as possible. And that's why when working with clients, I focus on 3 steps. The first step is to map out your money so you can see everything in one place. Step 2, we create a system that we align cash flow, protection, savings, and growth with your goals. And then step 3, we automate and adjust. We wanted to make it as systematic and automatic as possible because the fewer decisions that you have to make each month, the better off it is. And without a cash flow plan, that money can just slip away, especially if you have changing income. Think about bonuses, stock options, commissions if you're in a sales position. If we don't have a system for that, then it can just easily drift away and you'll wonder, hey, where did that bonus go, right? So we want to have a system and a plan for those things. Your financial life isn't random. You just need a system. So if you're ready to stop feeling scattered, you're ready to start building your system, you can do a few things. You can schedule a consultation with me, and so we can work together to create a system for you. Or as a starting point, just download my Smart Money Scorecard. This is going to help you identify gaps and show you where you need to focus first. I want you to imagine being able to look at your money and know without second guessing that everything is working together. That's the power of having a system, and once you have one, you will never go back. So the first step is to download my Smart Money Scorecard. You're going to find the link in the description box, and then don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of my weekly tips to help you plan out your financial life. Bye now. See you next time.